Hello guys and welcome to the new video. I have with me my lovely assistant Mette, and she's gonna show you how to play Yamb.
Hi.
Alright, so first we'll start with the small small one, the normal one, and she's just gonna show you how a normal game of Yamb basically looks like. As you can see, she got the nice threes, so first thing she did is she called threes. And she's gonna do the same for the fours. Now her job is probably just to get ones and go down. That's a very simple strategy that you can start it. And in case you don't get it, you can always just call something. She had a bit on his fortune. That kind of thing always happens in Yamb. If you're really unlucky, you can get bad combos. So usually in a bad start when she has like this, the best move is usually to just cross Yamb, or you can delay it by using something in the middle part. All right. Okay, she did get two. That's usually good enough to take it, and then she can proceed with the game. Yeah, 3 ones. Another 3 ones. It's all right. Right. There's a couple of options she can do here. She chose the three threes. To progress is very good. As she's filling up the slots, you notice that the fourth column with the numbers goes up as she progresses. That means eventually, sooner or later, she will get either she will get enough points or she will not, depending on the number of points she acquires in that line. She's got nice 3 twos. And she's gonna write a nice minimum, and you can see she's got 24 minus 8 times 3. That's 48 points in the minimum maximum section. Usually when you don't have a lot of luck in Yamb, it's usually best to just progress like she's doing right now. So this is just a normal example of a game of Yamb. Let's see if she gets lucky or not. There you go. That's how you acquire Yamb. And usually you want to save the Yamb in the second line. Second column. So you're always able to write a Yamb. So some of the basic nice tricks that you can learn while watching this video. The standard for calling minimum is when you usually get 2 ones at least, you can always call minimum like she just did in this example. She got full house, that's good. She can now progress up. She can always decide to call something if she wants to, or she can get more points. Now she's in a bit tricky situation because she needs straight. Straights are however difficult, and if you guys usually get stuck in here, don't worry about it. It's always okay to cross out straights. You can also decide to have a move like this, for example. This time she didn't get lucky, but it's a decent chance to always try and get the full house. Too bad this time she doesn't have a lot of luck, so she can always write, for example, she can always cross a straight, or she can always quote-unquote sacrifice one of the lower middle parts numbers. So both 1, 2 and a crossing straight are good options for progressing. For example, this is a good game where the dice are not in your favor. You can still acquire a decent amount of points by just keeping calm and getting as many points as you can. The dice are really bullying her this game, unfortunately, but that's okay. Now this is a very good example of how a nice minimum is started. Oh no no. So she's probably laughing as she seeing this. That's perfectly fine. Even if bad luck happens, why not? Let's have an example of a how to deal with a low case luck scenario. You can still keep going. You don't have to panic and give up the game. The game is still on because your opponent, whoever you're playing against, you think about it. He can also. There's also a chance that he also has um, low numbers. In such a case, all you have to really do focus about is minimizing your losses. And if you have the same game as him, there's a high chance you can still win, even in such a, let's say, such a bad looking game as it is now. And there's always a chance of you coming back. For example, right now she can see she's starting to get some points which when she didn't get. Yamb is very tricky. Like in the early game, it may look very hard to get anything, but as the game progresses, you just need one or two lucky moves and you're back on the horse. For example, she's now probably has a good chance of acquiring 2 lanes. Perhaps not, perhaps yes, we'll see. There's always choices of, for example, crossing straights. Those are hard to get. You can always call Yamb if there's no other options. And as you can see, she crossed 60 points in her last column, in the numbers column, and she acquired 102 points, which is very high. And as I said in my last video, it's usually normal to only acquire 60 points on two lines, and you don't have to worry too much about acquiring 60 or no points. This is usually impossible in a game of Yamb. As you can see, this is the interesting part of the game. Usually in the mid-late part of the game, there are limited options, and then I cannot speak. It's then when the beauty of the game really comes to shine, because see, that's a brilliant move by my assistant. In this part of the game, it usually comes all about strategy. It's not anymore about luck. And yeah, like I said, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, it's in this situation like this one, for example, it's usually good to use one of your lanes to your advantage. For example, it's very difficult to acquire 60 points on the third line. So what's best is focus on the, for example, second line, and then try to use the third line as a sort of a bin. To use all of your unsuccessful points to write it there instead, to use it as a progress. In this case, she can always take the 2s and she can keep going up. And she always has another chance of getting a poker, for example, which is a really good choice. And that's a really good move that she just did. So she used her 2s as a shield, for example, to have another chance of getting poker, and she just did. And now she opened the last column, which is Yamb. And since she's in the late game, it's perfectly fine to call poker, for example. And she did get a Yamb, straight in the end. And once, that's very good. A lot of points. Now, all she needs to do right now is focus on the remaining ones. And since she has all of her slots unlocked, she has a lot of options now. So that's why it's important to progress with your down and up column early. So in this case, she has still a lot of options, even if she has 0 luck. She can still manipulate her way into getting some nice points and perhaps winning the game in the end. In this case, it's usually best to give up on straight, for example, or you can try that 5s as well, perfectly fine, depending on how you feel like. Like usually, the last 2-3 moves are usually more about luck. All right. Didn't get it straight, so it's a very rough game. But it will help you a lot with how to actually play the game. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna show you another game how to play soon.